welcome back to my pregnancy updates. Today is going to be my 16-week pregnancy update as I turn 17 weeks today, which is very exciting, of course. This week, sorry to put a downer on everything because I know the past couple of weeks have been really positive and I felt like I'd turned a bit of a corner and everything was going really well and I was feeling quite proud of myself. And then this week has been a bit of a nosedive, shall we say. If you watched my weekend vlog when I went away, you will kind of know what happened, but I'm just going to kind of go into what happened anyway. So on Friday, we were going away to Whitby for my mum's birthday and it was just a girls' trip. So Andrew was staying at home and me and my mum and some of my other female family members were going away for the weekend. I was really looking forward to it and it was my mum's birthday and I just wanted her to have the best time. But on the Friday I started noticing what I can only describe as like fluid leaking from down there. It was very, very watery and I've not had anything like it before. I know increased discharge in pregnancy is really common. I have experienced that and this wasn't anything like that. But it was my mum's birthday, so I was trying to stay really calm about it. I was trying not to panic, but it was on my mind the whole day. That evening I was still really worried about it and I did the stupid thing, which I know is stupid, you can all shout at me, and I googled what I was experiencing, which is the worst thing you can do, and everything that came up was waters breaking early, amniotic fluid leak, you name it. It was just everything that was a nightmare and I well and truly convinced myself that was the problem. But again, I kept it quiet on that Friday. I was going to give it till the Saturday and see how it was and then take it from there. I woke up on the Saturday morning and it was still there and it was quite a substantial amount, I felt. So I woke up at like 5:30 in the morning and literally just burst into tears, and me and my mum were sharing a room so there was no hiding it, and by that point I just really felt like something was wrong and I just needed to kind of know what was going on. So me and my mum rang our local hospital in Leeds where I hopefully will be planning to give birth, and they said that obviously fluid of a watery consistency always needs to be checked out. It's really important that's checked out because obviously if that is your waters and it's that early, that is a big problem. So they suggested that I went in either to Leeds or to a local hospital to Whitby, which I think, doing some research, the nearest hospital was Scarborough, so there isn't actually a maternity ward in Whitby as far as I know. So they suggested going in as soon as possible to get checked out. I rang Andrew, who, bearing in mind this was about 6:30 in the morning, and he'd been on a night shift the night before, and when he's on a night shift he doesn't get home until between 11 and midnight. I rang him at 6 o'clock in the morning, pretty hysterical, told him what had happened, and straight away he was amazing and he was like, I'm coming to get you, you're going to Leeds, they know your history, you're not going to be comfortable going somewhere that you've never been before and you don't know and having to explain everything, and I didn't have my pregnancy notes and everything was just very stressful, and he was straight away like, I'm getting in the car now, I'm coming to pick you up, and by kind of 8:30 in the morning he was in Whitby picking me up and we made our way back to Leeds. Got to the hospital, they were amazing. That was my first time being, obviously before now I've always been to the early pregnancy unit and it was really different going to the maternity assessment unit. There were a lot of heavily pregnant women there, which was scary because I felt so out of place. I'm only 16, well I'm 17 weeks now, but I was only 16 weeks then and I just felt very out of place, but the nurses and the midwives and the doctors were all amazing. They were super thorough, which I can't thank them enough for. They were amazing. Every possibility they went through and they did all the tests and more that I thought they would do. So they started off, they took a urine sample. They did find leukocytes in my urine, which suggests that I could have a UTI. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think to confirm you have a UTI, they find leukocytes and nitrates in your urine. And in mine, they found leukocytes, which suggested there could be a UTI, but they wouldn't be sure. So they'd have to send off that urine sample for further testing. So they did that. They also found the baby's heartbeat on a Doppler. They found that straight away, no problem. So that was really good. And she said that it was really easy to find and a really strong heartbeat for kind of the gestation I'm at. So that was really nice. So she then said she wanted to get a doctor so that the doctor could do some internal investigations where they do the, what's it called? Speculum. Ugh. That for me. I've had all the internal investigations and examinations done, obviously because I've been through all the infertility investigations, but I've also been through recurrent miscarriage investigations. So I've had all of those things done. But for me, the speculum is just the worst part. I just really don't like it. But obviously, you do what you've got to do to know that your baby's fine or to find out what is going on. So I agreed for that. We waited a while, the doctor came, and it took a while, but she eventually did everything she needed to do. So she took some swabs to check for, infections? Words, Becca. So she took some swabs to check for infections, and she also made me cough, because if you cough and your waters have gone, they would see waters leaking from that area. So she made me do that, and she couldn't see any liquid. Ooh, this sounds disgusting. She couldn't see any fluid. Is this TMI? It's a pregnancy update. I'm hoping you've signed up for TMI. But she couldn't see any fluid coming from anywhere she wouldn't expect to see fluid. So she ruled out it being my waters, which was a huge relief. She also brought over one of the little portable scanner machines and had a look at baby and the fluid, more importantly the fluid surrounding baby. She was happy with the amount of fluid she saw. She said that was the right amount she would expect, and she said baby was looking fine. She could see the heartbeat, she saw movements, so she wasn't too concerned, which was really, really reassuring. So after that they sent me home on the proviso that I call back in 5 days to check on my urine results and to check on my swab results. So Thursday I called up the maternity assessment unit and said that I was calling up for my results. My swab results came back absolutely fine, so no infections of any description, which is really reassuring, but they had forgotten to, or how did she explain it? They'd done something wrong with my urine sample. So I think she said they'd either put it in the wrong type of pot or they'd labelled the pot wrong, and just because of protocol they can't test it. So she was really apologetic. They were really nice about it. It's totally fine. These things happen. And she said to either take them another sample or take my GP another sample, whatever's nearer. So we dropped a sample down at the GP, and the GP rang me back that afternoon and said, again, as with the first test that was done, they could see leukocytes in my urine, but they couldn't see nitrates. I should point out as well, sorry, this update is all over the place. When I went to the hospital on Saturday, I didn't have any symptoms of UTI at all. I felt completely fine. I wasn't having any discomfort when I was weeing or anything. I felt totally fine. But the past few days, I have felt like I could have a UTI, which is why I was really keen to get that test done, because a UTI can be quite dangerous in pregnancy if it goes untreated. So again, he said they're going to have to send my sample off, and what he suggested was, he has prescribed me some antibiotics, ones that are considered fairly safe in pregnancy, and he has said if over the weekend it gets worse at any point, to start taking them, because the risk of taking antibiotics in pregnancy is less than the risk of an untreated UTI. So he said if it gets worse, start taking them over the weekend so I'm not stuck without anything. But he said if I don't feel like I need to, like now, I feel fine. So he said if I don't feel like I need to, drinking cranberry juice like no one's business. Ugh, I really don't like it. But yeah, I've been drinking cranberry juice in the hopes that it doesn't really develop into a full-blown UTI. And they're going to ring me on Monday with the results of the test when they've got them all back over the weekend. So yeah, that's where I'm at the moment. Feeling fine. The kind of UTI feeling I was experiencing seems to have calmed down. So I'm hoping it was just, I don't know, I'm hoping it's not a UTI, because obviously I'll take antibiotics if it is better for the baby and for my body, but if I could avoid it, obviously that is preferable. I don't want to be putting anything in my body that could have a risk to this baby. So that is kind of where I'm at now in terms of that. As most of you will know, on Sunday I have my private gender scan booked. Sunday is also my birthday, so we've booked a private gender scan for my birthday, which I'm really excited about. But after this week, I felt like I'd come so far in the past 2 weeks. I felt like I'd got to really quite a positive place, and I was believing like, wow, I might actually have this baby. But I feel like I've gone back about 10 paces this week, and I've been so anxious. I'd told myself I was only going to use the Doppler every now and again for a bit of reassurance, and I have literally not stopped. I've used it every day. It seems to be the only way I can really start the day at the moment, is that I have to hear the heartbeat before I can get on with my day. So it's been a really difficult week, and I'm just praying that on Sunday baby is looking okay and that the level of fluid is still looking okay. I know they've ruled it out, but I definitely want to keep an eye on that and kind of keep having regular scans to check that the fluid levels are good. Yeah. So I'm sorry this isn't quite as positive as my past couple have been, but it's been a bit of a scary week, and yeah, that's it really. It's just been a bit of a scary one. Going on to a couple of more kind of light-hearted things, I did want to show you, I finally bought, this is huge, I'm definitely not going to fit it in the shot, but I finally bought one of these like pregnancy pillow sausage thingies. I can't remember the name of this, so actually I've got the packet, one sec. So this is the one I bought. Baby Bundle Widgie Plus 5-in-1 pregnancy and sleep pillow. That is the one I bought. I will link it below. And I am loving it. Oh my god, it's so comfy to sleep with. It is so comfy. I kind of like put one half down my legs and then put that, like, not that I've got a lot of bump yet, but I put that under my bump and then I rest my head on it. And it is so comfy. I love it. It's a dream. So if you have been thinking about getting one of these and you're not sure, I would 100% recommend it. It has made sleep so much comfier, so much easier. My leg pains, they're still there, but they're not as bad. So I'm really happy about that. I'm loving my pillow. In terms of any other symptoms, headaches have still been very present this week. They don't seem to be really going anywhere. I'm finding they've kind of got into a bit of a pattern. So I'll have a day with a really bad headache and then it gives me a day off. And then I'll have a day on. So I'm on a headache day today, but yesterday I felt alright. So it does seem to be going in that pattern, which is a bit weird. But yeah, there's that. Anything else? I don't really think there's much else to report this week. I mean, that is that's quite a lot I've reported on, to be fair. But apart from the headaches, I'm not really having any major symptoms. Oh, one thing they did say when they scanned me on Saturday, which she told me, is that my placenta is front facing, I think she described it as. So the placenta is basically in front of the baby. So she said it's totally fine, it's normal. Some people's are at the front, some are at the back. But if it's at the front, it means you will probably feel the baby move and the baby kick later, because it has to kind of get through the placenta first before it reaches you. So that's kind of, I mean, I'd love to feel movements as soon as possible, of course, but it's quite reassuring to know that if I don't, that's fine, and it's probably just because of my placenta and where it's positioned. So yeah, there's that. And apart from that, I don't think there really is anything. Hoping to be able to tell you the gender soon. Above all else, just hoping that baby is looking happy and healthy. In terms of a gender reveal, I would have loved, you know, I watch people's gender reveals and they're so emotional and so like creative and like arty, and I would love to do something like that, but it takes a lot of planning and I'm really impatient, and I feel like you guys have been on this journey with me for so long that I just want to be able to tell you like straight away because I'm excited, and I want, if I find out, I want to be able to tell you guys. And B, I can't think of anything. I just don't have the brain power to think of like a really creative gender reveal. So what I'm thinking of doing is, as it's my birthday on Sunday and we have some nice plans, we're going to go for brunch and things with my mum, and I thought maybe I'd just vlog that day and I will reveal the gender in that vlog and maybe upload it the night of my birthday or first thing the next morning, so you guys can find out kind of with us. So rather than it being kind of big and dramatic, it'll more just be like a real representation of how we feel, hopefully finding out the gender. So yeah, let me know what you think about that. I know it's not kind of big and exciting and dramatic, but I just want to be able to tell you guys as quick as possible. And it's also my birthday and I don't want to have to spend my whole birthday trying to come up with this big creative thing. Whereas if I can just vlog it as I go along, it will be more just kind of real life and just how it happens. So yeah, I hope that's okay for you guys. If you have any ideas for creative gender reveals that don't take a lot of effort or props, please do let me know. But if not, I think I'm just going to do it in that vlog style, and I hope that's okay. Yeah, so fingers crossed we will find out on Sunday. If we don't, that's totally fine. The main thing for me is that the baby looks okay, and is looking healthy and happy, and that's all I'm really bothered about. If we find out the gender, it is a bonus, but seeing the baby on my birthday will be birthday present enough for me. So yeah, I'm going to leave it there for this video, guys. I will show you the bump as per usual. I don't feel like it feels very big this week. I don't think it's really grown. At one point I was like, I'm pretty sure it shrank, but I don't know. I'm just feeling just kind of normal really. So it'll be interesting to compare it to last week and see how it is looking. I hope you're all having a really good week and you have a really good weekend, and I will see you all in my next video. So this is the bump at 17 weeks. Don't really feel like I've grown since last week, but I will be interested to see what you all think, and I will see you all in my next video.